Access expense resides within Access Workspace. So if you have any cloud modules with Access at the moment, the expense solution will sit within the same login screen and look and feel as your existing cloud software. On the left-hand side in the corner, I have the 9-dot menu where I can open up my expenses window. And on the dashboard here, you can essentially configure this screen to look how you want it to look. You could have a company feed, company Twitter blog, activity on the system of what's happened since you last logged in, claims that are awaiting approval, and useful links to things like expense policies, travel booking sites, and maybe even a user tutorial of how you actually enter on expense claims from a user point of view. When I open up the expenses app within the 9-dot menu, this is where I then go through and submit claims through as a user. So if I go into my new expense screen, this screen is completely configurable by yourselves as an organisation. So in here I have a list of expense groups. I can call these expense groups whatever I want to call them, and I can have as many or as few in here as I wish. If I select travel as my expense group, I then have a number of expense types within this list. Again, I can call these expense types whatever I want to and have as many or as few as I wish in here. You'll see when I select different expense types on screen, there is different information that the user needs to fill in. So some of our expense types might require descriptions, some of them might require project codes and so on. And actually some of them might just be a simple claim where they just want to enter on a kind of a description of the journey and a gross value for the claim that I'm actually putting through there. So essentially this screen can be as configurable as you want it to be. And the users essentially when they're entering on an expense claim will only see the information that they need to fill in. You can see on my home screen now that this claim line has been built up, so I can build up a number of expense lines over the course of the month before I submit them through to my approver. For expense approvals, once claims have been submitted through from members of my team, I would be able to see those expense claims come through into my environment. So I'd be able to see things like receipts that have been attached to claims, any information that the user has submitted through to us, and at this point I'd be able to select approve or reject against an individual claim line or full claim. If I was to reject a claim, it would ask me to write a reason as to why I've rejected that claim, which goes back to the user. I can also add comments to this claim and ask the user to attach more information before I decide whether or not to approve the claim and process them through. For credit card expenses, there is an ability to upload credit card statements into the expense app. The solution will then create a number of expense lines against that credit card statement based on the information that are pulled through from the transactions on the statement. So it will have the date of the transaction, the supplier reference, and the gross amount from the statement itself. Users would then be able to go through and attach receipts from their receipt wallet and fill in any information they need to attach in terms of the claim types and information that you need them to submit through before they submit it to their approvers. Our mobile app is called Access Expense and is free to download on both Android phones and Apple phones. There are single sign-on features with the mobile app, and you are also able to sign on using a fingerprint as well. The obvious advantage of using the mobile app is you're able to take pictures of receipts there and then when you're entering on a claim. This solution is built in with OCR technology as well, so the system's actually able to extract data off of the receipt itself and input that for us onto the claim, which is a considerable time save there for the user. You can see I'm entering on a receipt for Lidl at the moment. It's entered on the descriptions of the items that I purchased, along with the gross VAT amounts as well, and the actual date of the claim as well. So it's just there and ready to be submitted through to my approver there and then, nice and simple. With journey claims, similar to the desktop version, it's a case of this solution linking up with Google Maps. You can have favourites and recent addresses that you visited as well, and essentially can input a journey that you've completed during that day and any descriptions that you need to fill in before submission through to the approver. This solution has all of the same claim types and policies that you'll have on the desktop version, as well as all of the same information that you need to fill in around project codes and so on when you're entering on a claim. You can also approve claims from the mobile app, so from approver's point of view, they don't need to log into the desktop to look at their team's claims. They can see all of the claims built up within the mobile app itself and be able to visit information in there, such as the receipts that are attached, the project coding and so on, make sure they're happy with that claim before they process it through. You can also, as a credit card user, save down receipts in the My Receipt wallet so that they are saved on the mobile app and ready to go once the credit card statement's uploaded at the end of the month to be able to attach those receipts to that statement. In terms of reports, we have a preset analytics dashboard for Access Expense. This gives you a comprehensive view of all of the live expense data that's going through your organisation's accounts. So things like largest claims, top claimers in terms of your user types, people who haven't been claiming for a while. So if you know, for example, that Semi has been a number of projects recently and hasn't claimed in such a long time, you know he might be sitting on some claims. We also have the top claim types in the middle and trends around different departments in the organisation and when claims are received, claims that have been unapproved and those sorts of things. You can also apply this filter as well as drill down and see the data in the background. So if I wanted to, I could see all of the data that makes up Accommodation London claims, and I can track spend by things like user, supplier, and organisation as well as project.